Alright, right now I'm going to be changing the air filter on a 2009 Nissan Cube. You know what, I'm going to back out a little bit so that it's clear where I'm working at relative to the engine compartment. So that gives you an idea. I'm working on the driver's side of the vehicle. There's only one air filter, and that's on the driver's side of the vehicle. But now it should be clear as to where I'm working. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this cover and then pull out the air filter and the little positioner that's in there and replace the air filter. So to pull this cover off, there's a tab over here and there's a tab over here. Let's see if I can get a better view for you of how that, oops, if I can pull my camera off. Okay, so this little tab goes through this receptacle out to the other side. Now I think what I need to do in order to remove it is pull it in this direction, pull the bottom part of this tab in that direction. Let's see if that's right. No, that's not right. Maybe if I push it inwards, if I push it in that direction, does it come out better? I'm going to put the camera back up on its stand so that I can use both hands. If I remember correctly, it's like maybe every 9 months that I change these, so I don't exactly remember how I free it, but I should be able to figure it out. There we go. So I am pushing in this direction, and I'm not pushing here, I'm pushing down here in that direction. I'm pushing beneath this little receptacle in that direction. I'm pushing towards the air filter, so when I'm over here I'll be pushing in that direction. Okay, so let's gently free it. And I should say that I've run my engine. I drove over to AutoZone to pick up a tread depth gauge for my tires so that my engine is a little bit warmer than it would normally be. It's good whenever you're working with plastic, whenever you've got a plastic clip, it's good to be working with that plastic clip in a warm condition rather than in a cool condition. It's not mandatory that it be warm, but it's better for you. So now I'm taking this little clip and I'm pushing it in that direction to try to free up this case. Okay, so now this little housing, this little cover for the housing will lift right out. And I'm going to set it off to the side in a similar orientation just to make it easier to remember how things go. This would be a good time for me to point out. You see like this little ramp, looks like a wedge or a ramp. That little wedge is going to push the air filter. How does that look to you? I think you can see it. I'm going to zoom in. See, this is the side of the air filter that creates a seal. It pushes in like that to create a seal. These little wedges are what push, when this goes into place, these little wedges are what push that air filter up against where it's sealing. So it's important to orient this cover in the proper direction. Alright, so now that we've removed the cover, see what you're looking at. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So now that I've removed the cover and kept it yeah, it's easy to see that all I'm going to do is flip that to put it right back into position. but it might not be clear to you that that's what's happening. The important thing to remember is that these little wedges are going to push that air filter so that the air filter creates a good seal. Okay. So now I'm going to pull out the air filter and the little assembly that it comes out with, and let's see what you're looking at. Okay, when I pull this out, the air filter should look dirty on the other side. It doesn't look that bad actually, but you can see I've got some fuzz there, some fuzz there, a little bit of... I'm going to go ahead and change this because I know I didn't change it all winter. And I think this is probably an STP air filter because it's red, and I think this one's going to be white, kind of like the picture on there. And I've switched back and forth between oh no, maybe I did use a Fram last time. Okay, so here's how the Fram looks brand new. I think you can see that this one is considerably brighter than that one. So yeah, maybe I did use Fram instead of STP last time. I switch back and forth between the two, depending on what I find is available to me. Okay. So now here's the new air filter, and what I'd want to show, well, I'm just going to slide that into place. I really should have cleaned that debris, well no, I couldn't, it wouldn't have made a difference. I guess technically what I should have done was with my hand hold this up in a good position like that, and then cleaned out the dust and debris from in here. Maybe using a little screwdriver, again, maintaining contact with the old filter. I could have pressed this into place, used a screwdriver to break free some of this grit, and then a vacuum cleaner to vacuum out that grit. But I'm thinking, no, I'm probably doing this the best I can, because some of that grit would have fallen down into the rest of the air cleaner compartment. I guess the best thing to do is just do like I've done and be careful as you're removing it so as not to shake free any debris. And then once your new filter is in place, you're free from any effects of debris getting into the system. So now this new air filter is in place. Obviously, as I'm manipulating this cover, I can't continue to use my finger to press the filter into its proper position. But what I can do is simply use this wedge down here so that as the wedge goes in, as these wedges travel downwards, they'll push the air filter into where it belongs. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to be mindful of these little tabs. You can see that these tabs have the little lip, and that little lip is why you have to push in on the base. Beneath this little catch, you have to push in so that you can free the tab, and then the whole housing can come out. Obviously, there's another tab on the other side too. So I'm going to go ahead and use these two wedges to push the air filter where it belongs. I'm going to snap these as I push down. As I push the housing into where it belongs, this little tab and this little tab are going to snap into place. Okay, so now this right one has snapped into place. Now I'm going to snap the left one into place. Okay, left one's in place, right one's in place. And that's it. That is a changed air filter for a 2009 Nissan Cube.